So first we choose sales and we go according to sales data, and then we go for cost of goods sold, which is 6,000, and then we have the gross margin, of course, it's 12,000, which is C20 minus C21, so you get 6,000, and then you go for selling, which is now we are going for the selling and administrative expenses. So this will be 600 plus, or I'm sorry, this should be, because now we are doing the traditional way, so it's selling should be for both this plus the fixed selling cost, and then this should be the variable administrative plus the fixed administrative. So here should be B24 plus B25. And then our net operating income will be the gross margin minus the total selling and administrative expense. So which will become the net operating income will be 1,000. So traditional and the contribution format should be the same. The net operating income should be the same. So as we did earlier, sales is still this 12,000, and then we go for cost of goods sold is also up here, cost of goods sold 6,000, and then we have variable selling. Basically, with traditional, you just break it into variable and fixed, but traditional is to combine. So this is variable selling, and this is variable administrative, which then you add all this together, this plus this plus this. Yeah. Okay, so this should be 12,000 minus the sales minus the variable expense. So you get 5,000, and then we go for the fixed selling cost, which is 2,500, and then we have the fixed administrative cost, which is 1,500, and then you plus those two, you'll get 4,000, and then you go for contribution margin minus your fixed expense. You get the net operating income, which should be the same as this. Both net operating incomes are the same. Then we go for job order costing. Here you just take the data from above first. For example, first you calculate the estimated total manufacturing overhead for each department. First you have the total fixed manufacturing overhead cost, total fixed manufacturing overhead cost. There you go. Total fixed manufacturing overhead cost, yes. And then you have it for the assembly as well. As you can see, total fixed manufacturing overhead cost. Okay, so it's 500,000. And then you go for the variable. So here for milling, we go for machine hour. For assembly, we go for direct labor. And then the total is this, we should go for here. Machine hours is 60,000. This is 80,000 because you're going for direct labor hours. So then this should be the number of hours multiplied with the variable cost, and then this should be this times 375. Yeah. So the total manufacturing overhead should be this plus this. We get 510, so this should be the same, which means 500,000 plus 300,000, which is 800,000. Next, we go for the predetermined overhead for each department. So total manufacturing overhead is already up here. Total manufacturing overhead. The assembly should be the same. And then we go for total machine hours, which was the same as above, which was 60,000. So we copy this top, and then here should be 80,000, 30,000. Yeah. Okay. So this is the predetermined overhead rate is this divided by this 850, and this should be the total manufacturing overhead divided by the total labor hours. That's $10. So now, since we already got our predetermined overhead rate for per machine and direct labor hour, so we just do that in here. We just fill it up in here, and then we have our machine hours. Now we are already calculating for job 407. So our machine hours or direct labor hours should be taken from here, because this is cost summary for the job itself. So here we have 90, and here we have 20. Okay, so now as we did above in the step 1, we do the same thing. We this times this, so we get our manufacturing overhead applied. This times this, so you have 200. So here 765 200. Sorry. Okay, and then here we have then we have the direct materials. Direct materials are given as on top direct material, but remember we are still on the cost summary for the job. So direct materials is 800 for milling, and for direct materials is 370. So this should be this for the milling direct material plus the assembly direct material, which is 1170. And then the direct labor should be as this as well, direct labor cost 70. And then this should be with direct labor for assembly 280. And then the manufacturing overhead is this lah. As we can see, this is the direct manufacturing overhead applied. This is also as well. Okay. So then we can see this you go for plus the both direct labor costs, and then the direct labor cost, and then this is you add both manufacturing overhead applied, and then this is you just add all these three together: direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead applied, which will become 2485. So then we got the total cost of job 407, which is this. So it equals to D48, and then our markup is 75%, but here it's written as 0.75. So you should change it for D4 plus 1, because we are marking it up. So it's 100% plus 75%, which makes it 175%. And then this should be the cost times 1.75, which makes it for 4,348 and 75 cents. And then we go for process costing. Here we have units transferred. Okay, so here is the units transferred is 4,800 for both, and then we calculate for the equivalent units in work in process. So here we go for materials is 40% times the units in process, and then here we go for, this is the conversion, so we go for 25%, 25 D19 multiply with 400 units as well. So we add these both, so the equivalent is this and this plus this. This is this plus this. Okay. Now we have the cost of beginning work in process inventory for materials. Cost added during the period. Cost added during the production, which is for materials. And this is ah, no, I'm sorry, this should be the one. Okay, this okay. This is SB11. So we have this, and then so this the total cost. You should just add this both equals to this plus this. Yes. Now the equivalent units of production is this equals to, this is the equivalent units of production. This is 4,900. So to get the cost per equivalent unit, you should just divide it. This equation divided by the number of units. This is this divided by the number of units. So you get that. So now the equivalent units is this equivalent units in process. So here, yeah, this times this. Okay, cost and equivalent units as well. Go for this time 400 as well. Okay, so cost per equivalent unit is right above here, $72.75, and then this will be equals to 160 times 76.25, and this will be 100 times 72.75. This equals to this adding with, yes, so you get 19,475, and then you have the units transferred out. The unit transferred out is equals to 4,800 is the same as this. This is the units transferred to the next department. We know this goes cost per equivalent unit is here, cost per equivalent unit. This is for the conversion, so we just times this 2. This is equal to 4,800 times 7275, and this will be the total at this work. Yes, we get 715,200. Now for the last part, which is the cost reconciliation. So the cost of work, beginning work in process inventory is here. So it is this plus the conversion as well, not only the material, and then cost added during the period. Here it is, this plus this is equals to 15,000 plus, so you get 734,675. So total cost accounted for should be the same as this lah. So here we have the cost of the ending work in process inventory, cost of the ending work in process inventory is 19,000, and this is cost of units transferred out, the total. So this should be the same as this. So B61 is the same as B57. That's it for this assignment. Thank you.